Okay, wow, that was really fast. We are live, motherfuckers. Okay, namaste. It's been a while since I've been on a live. It just didn't feel abundant to show up. Blessings to show up every week on a Saturday. So I am working my way back into posting on my videos. So this is how I love to do my YouTube videos. I'll come on live and I will download the live and I'll post it on my YouTube page, so people who haven't been on the live and aren't here at the moment will watch it on YouTube. So I'm super excited. We are here, so welcome. I'm just gonna light some cedar for us right now because 'tis the fucking moment. So I'm lighting cedar, and what this means, why I do it, is because it has a really potent, this is all cedar, and it's wrapped up in string. And I do it because it holds a container of space. As I'm lighting it, I have an intention that I'm setting. A lot of people who are used to smudge sticks, they might only be familiar with white sage cedar. It's totally different energies. I required this one because I was overusing the white sage a lot. And there's a whole different story about how, because the spiritual community is into white sage, that like there's whole populations of these trees being exterminated for the sole reason of selling them. So that's a whole other topic. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna sage y'all too. Okay. Yes. Welcome, all the beautiful beings. Even if you're seeing this 30 days from now, definitely feel the effects of this beautiful smoke. Where's my? Aha! Beautiful sense of smoke, receiving into your third eye, all the way down your energy centers and around your body. So we're cleansing to replenish, rejuvenate, and hold space for truth. That is it. Okay, so today why I'm here is I'm here to talk about rejuvenation. Rejuvenation, such an important topic to talk about, because I feel I'm in the state of mind of Rejuvenation Nation. Yes, Rejuvenation Nation. Okay, I think that's so funny. So rejuvenation for me is important because I wanted to teach what it is to have the tool to add into your body. So what does it mean for you to have rejuvenation? What does it mean for you to rejuvenate? Do you use that word? If so, how do you relate to it? So if you want, I'm definitely going to get you to get your phone out. If you're watching on your phone, then maybe you need a book. Or I call them I call them healing books, like healing books, because sometimes a journal sounds cheesy as fuck. So get your healing books out, because we're going to go through this idea of what rejuvenation means. In Conxcious Produxtions, as a meditation integration coach, the reason why I'm bringing this up as at the forefront of your consciousness is because it's a powerful asset in your self-care toolkit. Okay, if you don't know what a self-care toolkit is, that's a problem, but it's okay. It's totally fine, because there are ways that we use to rejuvenate the body and to up-level and to show up as our best self and to bring the highest form of our work into the earth, onto earth, and with a community, with soul tribe. It requires nourishment, and it requires rejuvenation. And I think, again, we live in a beautiful society. I don't even want to talk about should I talk about it? Okay, we're gonna have one sentence around this. Is that there's this gratification about no rest, and I totally disagree. I put in the work, But as much as I rest, I make sure my feet are getting massaged. I make sure I'm giving myself hot oil head massages, because I'm providing this for people. I need to provide that for myself. And that's how I'm able to come so hard, come so powerfully on earth every single motherfucking day, because I take the time to be like, what works for me, what doesn't, what works for me, what doesn't, and what doesn't work for you, and to pull back from that is a part of rejuvenation. Blessings, queen. So today's topic is about rejuvenation. So I want y'all to understand and overstand how do you define rejuvenation? What if you were to draw a bubble around the word and like have webs coming out of it, what would some words be? You can type it, send them to me on comments, like type one word on what rejuvenation means for you, and on your own, writing out, this is what rejuvenation means for me. And now I want you to go even deeper. When you take that time to write it, meditate on it, I want y'all to understand, how do you relate to it on an everyday basis? How do you relate to replenishing self, replenishing roots, replenishing your mind, replenishing your skin, replenishing your hair? How does that all, renewal, I like that. Yes. That's beautiful. Refreshment. Ooh. See, it's so beautiful. Like I love you because you use the word re. And so it's this idea that it's a cycle. It keeps happening. Just like your plants need water. So it just keeps happening, rather than, which is going to be the second part of my topic. So just give me one time. I'm just going to read this comment. I love this. This is so beautiful. I love you. Rejuvenation for me equals self-care. Self-love, self-care by getting so quiet and letting the overwhelming thoughts pass. Wow, that is so powerful. You just, so Saber right here, Saber.music, just said that she has a process of rejuvenation. That's a really good point. I'm actually going to write that down. I have my little handy dandy notes here. So it's a process. I love that you said that. And so there's a process, there's a cycle, like you said, renewal, refreshment, and infinity. And again, the infinity sign, which is this right here, it keeps going. So I want us to hold space for what is that replenishing, right? It's a continuous space. Now, when you take a moment, and thank you for taking that moment to understand what rejuvenation means for you. Now, I want you to feel the rejuvenation in your breath. Okay, so we're going to take a little moment to feel that rejuvenation within that breath. So as you start, take a breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your diaphragm expanding, massaging all the organs, pushing against the ribs. As you exhale, your diaphragm is contracting and releasing carbon dioxide. Okay, and that is rejuvenation. All of the things that you said, the renewal, the refreshment, the infinity, allowing overwhelming thoughts to pass, that your breath has a sense of rejuvenation on an every breath to breath basis as well. And it's so close to us, right? So now I want to hold space for when is it that you lack rejuvenation, because we need to talk about the shadows as well. So when we lack rejuvenation, now let's think about those different times where you feel like you can include more rejuvenation, because now that you've defined it, now we're going to look at where it's lacking and how can we incorporate more of it. So if you do want to drop it in the comments, let me know where's there some spaces where you can work on rejuvenating more. I'll go first. There's space where I can hold space to rejuvenate more is cooking. I come from I don't even want to speak from that perspective, because where we speak from that perspective, it can still propel that momentum. So I'm going to throw that thought out. I'm going to say, sometimes I feel that cooking takes such a long process that I prevent it sometimes. So then there's no rejuvenation for me. And then I'll have food, but I feel like I can be better in holding a space of continuous. Food gets over, I have groceries, cook. Food gets over, I have groceries, cook. Versus me, food gets almost getting over, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta cook. It's gonna take so long. I'm gonna lose some time and and now I'm here. Now I'm at the bottom. Like now I've propelled myself in this cycle all the way to the bottom, where now I can clear all this energy that I've created. All of this energy is like all my shadow work that I have to create, all that I have built up, or has built up. So because I'm the being that I am, I know how to bring myself back up here. I know what I need to do. I know I have to light the candles. I know I have to put some loving music on, and then I'll just start my food because I know I need to replenish myself. But I can prevent all of this from happening, and going down that spiral from here, right? So rejuvenation comes into play in every single part of our life. So I want you, for this moment, actually, speaking of cooking, I do have something on the stove, so I'll be right back. Okay, so rejuvenation. I can remove all those added steps and start from there. Yes. Social rejuvenation is a big one for me. Overdoing the social settings and not allowing space for the process I mentioned above. Wow. That is huge. I love that you shared that insight, because now you know where you want to add more rejuvenation into. So that's beautiful. That's step one, right? That's one baby step. And it's so important for me to let y'all know that small steps are part of laying the foundation. You know, sometimes we want to be like in your example, and let me know if I'm just not making sense, but you're like, okay, I'm tired, now I need to go because this is the right step. But it can be as small as I just step out of the space. Like, let me just start there. Let me just step out of this space. So you're not actually home, but you're actually just stepping out of the space, and you're taking that time to be like, okay, I need to find myself in a quiet space. And then maybe that is your baby step. Maybe that is a direction. And then the next time you're like, I'm just going to take a little stroll. And then the next time you're like, see ya, you know? So that's your rejuvenation. So taking that step when you needed to step out is that part. So that was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I was on a phone with a client. So I do Akashic Clarity Packs. What that is you get two sessions, and it's online, and it's $100 Canadian, so they're done remotely. And on the second session, which is just a phone call, and the first session is an hour and a half, and it's via video, and the second session is via call for 40 minutes. So on the call, there was an idea that there was this belief that once I made X amount of money, I have to be broke again to be rich again, or I have to struggle through the process again to be back where I was. And so I got into it. I was like, why is that a thing? Like, why do you believe that that's a thing? And then it got even deeper, because there was a root belief that I always have to have less before I have more. Right? So I want you to hold space for that. I want you to hold space for the example that you provided. Can you notice when your energy is slowly depreciating, for you to catch it in that moment and be like, okay, now is that time I need to step out, versus you going to like low battery, like 0%, and then saying, okay, I really need to go now. So I'm like, and then I said, to give it in a more human context, in a more, not human context, in a more tangible context, I was like, do you let your plants die or like look kind of dried up and then water them? Some people actually do that because there's an internal cycle that they're working on as well, because plants are a beautiful reflection of that. And they said, yeah, I kind of do that. I was like, why are you waiting for the plant to almost die to tell you that it needs water? Right? And that's the exact same thing. So I'm going to bring another example to me, because I'm bringing this topic up because it was a limiting belief that I had as well. I needed to lose everything so I could gain more. Lose everything so I could gain more. So for example, something as simple as my basic necessities. So let's say my deodorant, my toothpaste, my face wash, face cream, literally basic necessities. I had a belief that it had to be completely over, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Subconsciously, we're running out of pattern. So I believed all those things had to completely finish, and I had to have days where I didn't have those things in order for me to go out to the grocery store and buy them. So what my active work was knowing, oh, my deodorant is gonna end up finishing next week. I know it's gonna finish next week. My salt is gonna finish in 2 weeks, and going there and rejuvenating before it ends. So that has been my work, to believe that I have the ability to pay for my stuff, to invest in stuff, so I can, while I still have it, while I'm still where I am. Another download came through. Is actually, it's a limited. There was a little bit of a belief that was also taught generationally, that you have to have nothing in order to have, like, at a certain point, more. And I've seen really close people to me believe that they're at a certain level and then come down in order to work back up to have even more. And that is not necessarily the case. You do not have to struggle excessively, and struggle doesn't mean work. Let me tell you that. Okay, that's a whole different topic. I'm not gonna talk about that right now because that's a different topic. But in order to do that, so I'm gonna give you some journaling prompts, and just take some time. Like, what does rejuvenation feel like for you? Okay. Ooh, it just feels so exciting to say that. What does it feel for you to breathe in rejuvenation? Exhale rejuvenation. And through that process, I want you to take like 5 minutes and just write all the shit down. Like, rejuvenation, like, not all good things, the bad things, the shadowy things, the rude things, and just see where you're at, where your soul, your infinite soul is at with the concept of rejuvenation. Do you believe in it? Do you have more of it? Do you need it? What do you feel like you need to feel deserving of it? All those things, because you're gonna see, once you journal on this, once you like hold space to see, okay, where am I at in this like whole rejuvenation process, and where do I want to be? So that's the next question, is what would the ideal version of me, the highest version of me, be exemplifying? So what kind of rejuvenation would I be living in, breathing in, if I knew I was the best version of me? Reach out to me if you are having some troubles on that second prompt, because a lot of us, and because I've been doing the work with a lot of clients, they won't even allow themselves the best version of them, because somewhere along the way, they believe that wasn't even possible. What's up? Blessings. So if you don't believe the truth of what you get to have, this prompt that I just told you is going to be really hard, because if you've capped your ability to think about what's possible for you because of someone else, then, or not even someone else, like, just like, for example, I grew up believing, because I was taught this, that I could only, that I didn't get the good shit. I didn't get it because I was not one to get that stuff, right? So I only settled for things. So if someone asked me that question right now, if someone asked me, what would the best version of me ask for in rejuvenation, I would only ask myself based on that subconscious thought that I only get less than. So now we're going even deeper, okay? So now I need to act like this is a sub question. If that question is hard for you, what would the best version of me, hold on. What would the best version of me exemplify in rejuvenation? If that question is hard for you, I need you to go to a sub question and be like, what would the version of me, the best version of me, receive? What would it be like to live my best life? Truly the best life. And there's a lot of work that, well, it just depends on where you are in the journey, because sometimes those questions won't even trigger, because there's like underlying layers, like, well, I only deserve this, so this is all these things that you're going to tell me are only the things that I think I deserve. And then so in my Akashic Clarity packs, I take this off. I'm like, okay, now think even further. Now think even crazier. Now think even fucking grander and grander. Like, think that the possibility of you being the president of the United States is possible. Now what? Now how would that grandest version of you act in rejuvenation for yourself? So coming back to me, I realized that in my basic necessities, I would wait for them to finish and not have them, because I had all these money blocks. So I would go a day or two, and only because I had to do it now, only because I had a basic necessity. Like, you see the tightness I had on like money in my heart and in my mind, and now I'll just step out of the grocery store to buy it. So my work has been making sure I get my deodorant, making sure I got my toothpaste, all of that before it runs out. And you know how genuinely happy that makes me feel now? Because I'm believing in the process. So I want y'all to, for the rest of the week, starting tomorrow, I want you to let rejuvenation linger in the back of your consciousness. I want rejuvenation to feel, for you to feel it in your breath. So when you're breathing in, you can just do it with me. So breathe in, letting the air through your nasal cavity, down to your throat, expanding your diaphragm, and contracting your diaphragm, and releasing carbon dioxide out. That being rejuvenation process. So at any time you feel overwhelmed, at any time you feel that you're losing energy, there's ways of rejuvenation in the now moment. So I want you to also, lastly, the third question I want you to ask yourself is, how can I feel more rejuvenated in this moment? What do I need in this moment to feel replenished, to feel healthy, right? So when we think of replenished, we're like, oh, I have life in me. Like, I could like do stuff. I can move. I'm clear. I'm sharp. Things are happening. I know what's good. You know, like I'm like this. And so that's why we know this shit. We know, like, replenishing is important. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like when people say it's what's inside that counts. You know, we fucking know this shit. But it's like the integration process on a breath to breath, mind, thought to thought process. That's where the work is. That is where the work is. Like, I could talk all this. Like, I could say, oh, like, it's healthy. It's good to eat healthy foods. And then, like, and then if I'm not balancing that, if I'm being unbalanced and eating stuff that's not really it's counterproductive, what good is good stuff gonna do? Because when I put a good apple next to a bad apple, like a rotten apple, what happens to the good apple, right? Okay, I'm just gonna take a moment to ground. I feel like we went through a lot over there. I gave y'all some questions about rejuvenation. I want y'all to think about how you can ask yourself, how can you rejuvenate in this now moment? Because it doesn't have to be a long fucking lengthy process. Like, sometimes, like, sometimes self-care requires a day, but sometimes cellcare, cellular care is how I say it. Self-care is in that moment. Is 10 minutes, is 2 minutes, is 3 minutes. So when this video ends, I want you to let that thought linger, okay? Because I want you to connect with the rejuvenation and knowing that you get to have it. It gets to be a part of your life. It gets to be in your heart. It gets to be in your throat. It gets to be in your eyes. Your whole body gets to feel this rejuvenation. And if you feel so far away from it, what is that in between that's allowing you to, blessings, what's in that in between that's allowing you to feel that rejuvenation is not part of your mandate? And why isn't it part of your mandate? Okay, so that is my topic on rejuvenation. This is the Rejuvenation Nation. So the reason why I wanted to bring it up, because I think it's a very important topic, a very important part of our self-care toolkit. Now I talk about this toolkit, like what is this? So I think it's really important as humans to have a self-care toolkit. You open up the toolkit, there's things that you use for anxiety, there's things that you use when you're angry, there's things for you use when you're shamed, there's things where you use when you're super exhausted. So there's a toolkit, and I teach this to my clients, like what's in your toolkit. And sometimes the tools are blunt. They're so blunt you can't do anything with them. They're just there because someone said, like, you need to comb your hair once in a while. Like, so opening up your toolkit and looking what's inside, that's the part of the process of what I teach as well. So I do that work with my clients. If you are interested, definitely connect with me. It's for my Akashic Clarity packs. They're $100 Canadian for now. They are changing price in 2020. Blessings. And it's 2 sessions. So one is online, and sorry, they're both online. So one is an hour and a half, and the other one is a 40-minute call. And this is the type of work that we do. I do have a 7-month program on a consistent basis, but that is closed at the moment. It's not available because I already have some clients in there. However, if you are interested, please email me. My email is on Instagram. It says email. Just click on that. It will take you right to email. Blessings. And and yeah, so for y'all who are just jumping on right now, we just had a whole conversation about rejuvenation. This video is going to be up on YouTube, so you can do all the prompts there. It's really about what does rejuvenation mean for you, and how do you interrelate with that. Is it something that's far away from you, or is it not? So there it is. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm so excited. Thank you for the beings who were here from the beginning and witnessing this fucking video. You will see this video on YouTube most definitely, because I think it's such an important topic to talk about and such a powerful tool. Let me just check in with myself, with my guides, if there's anything else that I need to share with y'all. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay, so they gave me 2 things. So 2 things. The first thing that they gave me to share with you, or like uncovered for me rather, is a meditation for rejuvenation. I didn't even write that shit down on my notes, but they just gave that to me. My guides. They is my guides. So a meditation for rejuvenation. So you can actually meditate on the sensations of rejuvenation if you're not familiar with how to rejuvenate yourself like a plant. So if you have any questions about that, definitely email me as well, or just reach out to ask, and we could take it from there. But what I'm thinking when I'm saying meditation on rejuvenation is to take some time, maybe take a walk, maybe sit still, maybe move or dance, and have a theme, and this theme would be rejuvenation. What I would do is I would sit on my mat, on my yoga mat, for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'd just see what would it feel like to feel rejuvenated. What would it feel like to be in the accomplished state of rejuvenation? And then I just mimic that experience times 10 every single day, because that is my gift. That is our ability to create dimensions, new realities for us. So I'm like, okay, this version, the highest version of Anoushka, feels like this when she feels rejuvenated. So you need to ask yourself that questions. You need to ask your body those questions so you can mimic and multiply and reflect back into your life and back into the matrix that this is the kind of world, this kind of rejuvenation that you want. So that was one that they gave me. And the other part of what information they gave me was about our cells, about our cellular body and our anatomy. So when we are meditating, we are activating light codes in our cellular, in our anatomy. So when we are doing whatever, our cells are like, oh, this is what's happening, or this is what we're doing. So when you're in your meditative state, in rejuvenation, I want you to allow your mind to see that your cells are feeling rejuvenation. What does it feel like for your foot, the big toe on your foot, to feel rejuvenation? You know, like thinking about it, but then feeling it is it can amalgamate both of those thoughts. Because sometimes when we think, it's powerful because our brain is connected to our feet, right? But it's also, can you take a moment to feel the base of your feet? And what would that feel like? Yes. Okay, I am finito. I'm so excited that this happened. I haven't done these lives in a really long time. Some shit happened in my life, and you know, I grew bigger, better, and stronger, and I stopped doing the videos. That's why I haven't done one in a minute, but it's all Gucci, because here we are. So thank you so much. This beautiful cedar smoke is for you. You can take it, rub it around your third eye, bring it around your head, down your body, and I'm wishing you the most love, the highest form of purpose showing up into your life, and the highest form of rejuvenation for you. So ashe, ashe, take care, and you'll see a lot more of these. If you are interested in videos like this, more on my YouTube page at Conxcious Productions, but it's spelled differently, so check it out. If not, reach out to me and I can send you the link. Ashe.